Hello, my wonderful art students. Today, first grade is going to be inventing a new animal using different body parts from other animals. We've done something similar where we combine two animals together to make a new one. This one is taking it a little bit further. And not only is it going to be a new animal, but the background needs to make it look like the animal needs to be camouflaged, so it's hard to see it. So camouflage means it's trying to hide in its background. Second grade, you're going to be creating a thank you note for someone special. Third grade, you're going to choose an image or a picture around you and talk with someone about how it makes you feel. If you want to throw in some things you see and like different colors, lines, and stuff, you can do that too. Fourth grade, you're going to be creating a poster that shows the importance of preventing disease. And then fifth grade, you're going to create a piece of art that reflects a family tradition. And remember, a family tradition is something that is done at a special time, and it's a special group of things that you do with each other. So it could be like I gave an example a few weeks ago of how we do a book of thanks at Thanksgiving. Some people, have big family dinners at Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and stuff like that, or shoot off fireworks at the 4th of July. So your job is to create a piece of artwork that shows that tradition with your family. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, first grade, so we are going to start with you guys. When you create a new animal, you can pull different features from other animals. So for me, I think foxtails are really cute, so I know I want my creature to have a foxtail. If you want to draw a foxtail as well, you just draw two curved lines that meet at a point. I like the texture of a porcupine, so I'm going to use that as the body type. If you want your animal to have short spikes too, they're basically like a triangle but with a curve to it. I want my creature to have a little face, so I'm going to draw a curve to show where the face begins and the spikes stop. And maybe a bird beak, I don't know, I might change it because it looks a little weird. Remember to draw light in case you get something done and you decide that you really don't want it there, because when you're doing something, when you're assembling a creature or putting different things together, you might look at it and be like, oh yeah, that doesn't work. So make sure you're drawing light so you can erase. For the legs, I decided to give mine legs kind of like a rabbit. And I think T-Rex arms and hands are funny, so I'm gonna give my creature some little short T-Rex hands. Next, I'm going to go in and add a few more spikes on the body. Think of them as upside down V's as you draw them. There's a little bit of a curve to them though. Okay, I've decided that bird beak is just not doing it for me, so I'm going to erase it. And I think I'm going to add an elephant trunk instead. So an elephant trunk is curvy like the letter S. It has a little curve at the end, and then it just follows back to the face. The last thing I'm going to add is going to be a narwhal horn. Okay, so 4th grade, you're supposed to draw a disease prevention poster. So disease is illness, and I'm going to sketch out a little space for us to draw that here. And then my 2nd graders, you are drawing a thank you note. So I'm going to show you how to do that on a 3D ribbon. Okay, so 2nd grade, whenever you draw a ribbon, you're going to start out with a very stretched out letter S. The longer you make the ends of your S, the longer your ribbon will be. On the places where the S bends and at the end of the tail, you're going to draw lines that go down. They need to be about the same length. And then you're going to connect the lines together. So you'll connect the one at the very end to the fold and then the two in front together. Next, I'm going to draw out a block letter thank you. Whenever you draw block letters, there's several different ways you can do it. If you've had practice drawing block letters like I have, you can draw the shape as you go, but you can also piece together shapes that you're familiar with, like triangles, squares, rectangles, and circles to help you build those letters. You can write the message for the person you're giving it to right here. If you are drawing block letters, another way you can do it that's very simple is to draw your letter first and then outline it. Don't forget spaces in the middle of letters. Once you're done, you'll erase the first letter that you drew. I always think of it as like the skeleton. Here's the letter B so you can see what curves look like. Remember as you are drawing to draw light so that way erasing is not a problem. All right, fifth grade, so you guys are supposed to draw a family tradition. And so for me, my family tradition that I wanted to show you guys is hanging Christmas lights. Every year we hang up lights pretty close to Thanksgiving so we can enjoy them longer. If you want to draw Christmas lights with me, you can. If not, that's fine too. If you are drawing them with me, you'll start out with the cord, and it's just going to be a curved line. Then you need to draw where the mount of the light's going to be, and I usually represent that by a rectangle, and then I'm going to draw the shape of the light. I like the old school, big, bright, colorful lights. All right, fourth grade, we are going to move on to your disease prevention poster, and you can choose any illness that you want to, that you might know about for how to prevent. I am going to focus on something that is on a lot of our minds right now, and that is COVID-19, making sure you're staying healthy. So the first thing that they have really told us to do is to wash our hands. So I'm drawing a hand with a bar of soap in it. And on the CDC website, they tell us that we should wash our hands for at least 20 seconds. You can also sing happy birthday twice, and at least means that that's like the lowest you should go. Whenever we wash our hands at home, I always have my children do 60 seconds. On our poster, let's put 30 seconds for good measure. A way that you can help others be safe from catching your germs is by covering your coughs and your sneezes with your elbow. Even now with COVID-19, they're recommending that we wear face masks whenever we go out, just simple ones to help prevent the spread of the illness. So again, make sure you cover your coughs and sneezes. And I just drew a very simple emoji, and I'm telling how people should cover. And right now, because we are having to kind of hang out at our house, we're going to focus on staying home. So I'm going to draw a house with a rectangle and a triangle and give it a door. And then I'm just writing stay home so we can stay safe. Remember that as you're drawing your poster, prevention is all about stopping something from happening. So your goal with your poster is to help people be mindful about keeping healthy and keeping people safe so that way they don't end up sick. In fourth grade, as I'm finishing up drawing my Christmas lights, a few other things you could focus on with your poster. You could do heart disease prevention, which would include like exercising and eating right. If you wanted to focus on like skin cancer prevention, you could talk about wearing sunscreen or making sure you limit your time in the sun during the hottest months of the year. You could talk about staying hydrated. You could talk about limiting your amount of sugar that you eat, and eating healthy in order to fight obesity and to be active. So there's just a lot of different things that you can do to prevent, there's different diseases you can focus on, and there's a lot of different things that you can do to prevent those diseases. All right, third grade, we are going to move on to you guys. So you are supposed to find an image, painting, a decoration, something around you that influences your feelings. Whenever you look at something, whether you realize it or not, it affects how you feel. Certain elements of art like line, shape, and color really play a part in how your emotions are affected. The principles of design can also affect you, like what is emphasized on, that would be emphasis, or movement, which is how it could appear it's moving, or where your eye goes onto the piece. So there's a lot of different things just with our art concepts that affect how you feel. So this piece of art is one that I made a few years ago. It hangs in our kitchen, and I chose to use mostly cool colors. The yellow-green is a little bit more warm than the other colors, and then I used some very sharp lines when creating this piece. When I look at this piece, I want to feel calm, but I can't because of the way the lines and the shapes are. The sharpness in the lines and the shapes actually makes the piece more energetic and less calm, even though the colors are calm. I hope you guys enjoyed creating with me this week. I wish you well, and I hope you have a great weekend, my wonderful art students.